Microphone check 1 2 1 2 3 4.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2 3 4.
Good evening from Hockey Outlet in North Tonawanda, and thank you for joining the Nickel City Hockey Network as we kick off our high school hockey coverage tonight. We are moments away from face-off between Starpoint High School and Williamsville South. Welcome to our broadcast. My name is Aaron Elpern alongside color commentator Sean McHugh, and we are certainly delighted to be bringing you this contest here tonight as our games this season will feature the Starpoint Spartans. And Sean, that is certainly with good reason.
Yeah, you can say that again, Aaron. Starpoint is the reigning Section 6 small school champion and was the runner-up for the state title. There were a few departures from last year's squad, but that doesn't mean this team lacks experience, as they brought a ton of that experience back, as Starpoint boasts a roster featuring 9 seniors, as Coach Clayton Wilson has a group that is, again, ready to make a deep postseason run.
And what a run it was last season. We had a chance to call the Starpoint Hamburg game here last year. That was on January 26th, a 3-2 Starpoint win. From there, the Spartans went on an absolute tear, 11-2-1, with the only losses coming in the state title game and then the final game of the regular season, which was meaningless for playoff positioning. Not sure if we can take credit for their run last year, but we're certainly happy to be back here again documenting the 22-23 Starpoint Spartans. And tonight, their opponent is a team that they have seen recently.
Absolutely. Starpoint met these Williamsville South Billies back on December 9th, a 5-3 Starpoint victory, as Alec Kirk and Frankie Cardarella each had 2 goals in that win. But Starpoint will be without Alec Kirk tonight. He is serving a suspension for a check from behind in their last game. Borderline call. We were here for that. I didn't love it, but not for me to discuss, as Kirk, not a player that plays that way, had a total of 4 penalty minutes last year. I saw the hit. It looked worse than I feel like it was, but these refs are instructed, as we know, if it looks bad, it's bad. So the Spartans will go without Kirk tonight. And
Kirk's absence in the lineup certainly leaves a big hole. He was the catalyst, really, for last year's postseason run, tallying 18 points in 7 games, including game-winning goals in the sectional final and state semifinals. He's just continued that pace so far this year. 6 goals and 7 assists this year, so obviously there is a need for others on the Spartan roster to fill that void.
Absolutely, and these Spartans come in with a record of 4-2 on the season, and Williamsville South is coming in at it with a 1-4-1 record. Look for their top 2 scorers tonight, number 12 senior Nolan Feinberg and 16 Devin Krakowiak to be on the score sheet today, as I think anybody who knows these Williamsville South Billies will tell you the record is not indicative of what a good team these guys really are.
And we had a chance to speak with their coach, Sean Green, a little bit beforehand, and he told us that it's a young team. I guess in general it's a young team, but it's a team that doesn't have the youthful inexperience you might expect, Sean.
Absolutely. This is definitely a case where you can say age may be just a number here, because Starpoint does absolutely boast of a heavy number of seniors. I mean, almost 2 full lines worth of seniors on this roster. But if you take a look here and you see the total games played between the 2 rosters here, I don't believe you're going to see much of a gap in the amount of total games played. You can argue Starpoint's more battle-tested, being postseason tested, but in terms of playing at this level, there's not a lot of gap here. So look for the young but experienced Williamsville South Billies to give these Spartans another great game, as we're accustomed to seeing so far this year.
Yeah, as we were saying beforehand, it's not necessarily what year you are in school, but how many varsity games have you played, the amount of miles that you have on your hockey tires, if you will. That's really what makes the difference in some of these Section 6 Federation hockey games, and we are really excited to kick off our broadcast schedule here tonight. That broadcast schedule continues next week as well, as we are same time, same place, next Wednesday night, 6:50 here at Hockey Outlet, and it is the Amherst Tigers who are the opponents for Starpoint next week. Spartans also have a rematch game on the schedule. On Monday, Starpoint faces Grand Island again. That's the team that they knocked off to win the small school sectional crown last year. Meanwhile, Williamsville South also has a big game on their schedule. They get Williamsville East tomorrow, their big rival, part of a triple header at Northtown Center tomorrow night.
Absolutely. When speaking with the coaching staff of the Williamsville South Billies, one thing they wanted to make sure they were emphasizing to their players is not to look ahead to the Williamsville East game. That is the rivalry. That is the equivalent of homecoming for football for this hockey team. Luckily, one surefire way to make sure you're not going to overlook an opponent is when that opponent is a state champion.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult to miss the banner over there in between the 2 locker rooms.
Both of them.
Yeah, that talk about the the details of last season's success for Starpoint, as well as some of the recent seasons as well.
Being modest too, if you're asking me.
Yeah, it's certainly something that if when you're facing a team that appeared in the state title game the year before, you know that's the case going into it, especially with what we see a lot in high school hockey is a lot of these guys play on the same teams on their travel teams, so there's a little bit of back and forth. There's a lot of familiarity between some of these sides.
Smells like a rivalry.
We'll see how it develops in terms of rivalry, but there's familiarity, and familiarity does tend to breed contempt sometimes.
And contempt means drama. And Aaron, you've been calling games with me for a few years now. You know how much I love my drama on the ice.
Just like
as long as it's clean. As long as it's clean, we're going to be fair. As long as it doesn't affect the integrity of the game, and I have my doubts that a Starpoint team coached by Coach Clayton and this Williamsville South team is going to have anything to do other than playing good hockey tonight.
Yeah, it should be an excellent matchup. These two teams frequently play close games, as we're hearing from the coaching staffs of both sides. A lot of one-goal games in the past, always really tight contests. Certainly expecting that to be the case here tonight. It is Starpoint and Williamsville South as we kick off our coverage here on the Nickel City Hockey Network of Section 6 Federation Hockey. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again, I'm Aaron Elpern, joined alongside by color commentator Sean McHugh, Jeff Jazarowski on the camera tonight as we are set for face-off between the Billies and the Spartans. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're underway from Hockey Outlet.
Man, Aaron, no pageantry, straight to puck drop. Let's go.
Puck dumped into the Starpoint zone, no icing on that play. Team's trying to find possession. It's actually going to be Williamsville South finding it. Almost an opportunity in tight, as that was DeRosier getting the opportunity there. Puck comes out towards the point. Starpoint clears it into the neutral zone, but it's going to be Williamsville South picking up control of it and trying to get it back into the offensive zone. But a good play there right at the center red line by Braden Allen to get it into the offensive end for Starpoint. Spartans making a change here. Billy's going to try to take advantage of that and move the puck out of their zone. Unable to get past the number 19 of Frankie Cardarella, and he looks to counter.
Ooh.
Nice move around the defenseman. Backhand shot, pass in front. Ended up in the pads of the netminder, Bennett Peters. Good opportunity early, and then a second opportunity as that was Austin Bush letting that wrist shot go from the mid-slot. Save made on that one by Bennett Peters again.
Wow, Frankie Cardarella, he's nursing a hand injury right now. Took a puck up high. You could have fooled me with that dirty toe drag the young sophomore just put down right there for the first chance of the game.
Into the offensive zone again come the Spartans, trying to put some pressure on behind the net. Billies evade that pressure and get it out to the blue line, but can't get it out of the zone as Mainstone gets in the way of a pass and gets it down low again. Now a battle for a loose puck in the far corner. Comes out, now onto the stick of Maidstone again. He lets his shot go. That one just misses the net wide. Comes out the other side, back to the point. Kept in by Muscarella. Cyrek now with possession of it behind the net. Feeds a pass back to the point. Starpoint doing a good job of keeping the puck in their possession here in the offensive zone. See if they can develop any offensive chances out of it. Clearing pass goes up and out of play over the short glass over there on the far side. So we'll have a stoppage and an opportunity for both teams to make some line changes.
Yes, the hallmark of Hockey Outlet, the very short half-wall glass. Again there, but no more comments on the rink here, Aaron. Starpoint has come out, and they are applying pressure in the first minute and a half, and they started a young line here, too. So now they're going to roll the seniors out there to try to continue the pressure.
Just about 2 minutes into the action here is Starpoint again here setting up in the offensive zone. Justin Bull with the puck on his stick here on the far side. Tries to spin it down low to Cyrek. Cyrek trying to gain possession of it there, but a little bit of a battle with Ian Krakowiak for that. Now out to the near side is Williamsville South doing a good job of getting the puck out. This is Drew Beller through the neutral zone. Beller, the freshman, into the offensive end. And again, the poke check there forces that one to go over the short glass on the far side. And that was Braden Allen, the defenseman, getting the stick on puck there and forcing the stoppage in play. Face-off will be in the Starpoint zone to the right of their starting netminder, Rich Carew.
Yes, and Williamsville South head coach Sean Green made it a point to let us know that Beller is a player to watch right here. He's not the biggest player out there, but he can really play hockey. He's a jitterbug, and it was described as he annoys you to death on the rink.
Scored his first goal against rival Williamsville North recently. And there's an opportunity at the other end, as that was Will Mainstone ringing that one off the post, as the Starpoint Spartans have done a good job of generating the early chances so far in the first 2.5 minutes so far. And again, it's the Starpoint offensive zone time, and then the short glass is what the story of the first couple minutes has been.
Always got to have a storyline here, Aaron. I'm here for the short glass arc on this as well. And again, it has not been good to Williamsville South because it's caused 2 defensive zone faceoffs, and it stopped an offensive rush. So the glass is really, really favoring Starpoint right now, probably unintentionally.
Shot coming in from the point as that was let go by number 11, Aiden Case, right off the cleanly won draw. Now a little bit of exchanging of pleasantries in front of the net as these teams increase their familiarity a little bit.
That's one way to put it.
We talked about them being quite familiar with each other, not only as the teams that saw each other a couple weeks ago, but also seeing a lot of crossover play between some of the guys that play travel hockey as well. So certainly a lot of interest in this game on both sides, and the excitement has certainly been there with the intensity. Here's an opportunity in front. Just unable to get a real opportunity there from in tight was Gavin Russell as the puck was sitting there right on top of the crease. Back into the Starpoint zone, but they break the zone pretty easily and get it back out in the neutral zone. Defenseman falls down on the play. This could be an opportunity for Russell to get around him into the offensive zone. Lets a shot go from a tough angle. Good save made on the play by Peters as Russell got a lot on that wrist shot, but kind of from a tough angle. And good shot in on net on that rush opportunity. Williamsville South looking to come back in the opposite direction. Right in on goal, but pretty easily handled there by Guru. Starpoint now breaking a little bit of pressure and getting it out of their own zone. Quickly into the offensive end comes Cyrek. Cyrek in the near corner, 2 guys on him. He takes a bump and loses possession of it, but gets a little bit of support from Bush. Bush back to the point. D-to-D pass, and now Allen looking for something here at the near point. Has the puck back on his stick again, lets it go through traffic. Good save by Peters. There were 2 men in front of him. Not sure he had a real clean look at that one, but he did manage to make the pad save. Back in the other direction, this is Turcharelli. Turcharelli makes that backhand pass in front, but unable to handle that one there was Derek Wertman. Puck stays in the zone, though. Good play there at the point by Krakowiak to maintain the blue line, but his fellow number 17, Cyrek, takes it away from him and clears the zone for Starpoint. Back along the Williamsville South blue line as they move it through the neutral zone, but unable to get it into the offensive end. And now comes Bush in the opposite direction, looking for a pass. He goes cross ice, but can't get it around the defenseman. And then the shot attempt ends up going up and out of play over the protective netting, in fact. And we'll have another stoppage in play with 12:50 now remaining here in first period play. Still looking for the game's first goal.
Starpoint is doing a really good job of slowing down the Williamsville South transition. One thing that they do have, being such a young team, is speed. And Starpoint, to this point, when they're not possessing the puck down low, they're doing a really good job of clogging the neutral zone to make sure Williamsville South cannot get out into transition right now.
Ian Krakowiak with possession. Very nice pass there into the neutral zone to set up his man Lemondola into the offensive end. Now a battle for a loose puck in behind the Starpoint net. Starpoint coming out of that pile with it. This is Bull up the left side. Bull with a backhand pass, just a little bit too far for Mainstone, but it ends up working out as a cross-corner dump in. Now Mainstone putting some pressure on that far corner. Gets control of the puck and now back to the point. Kept in deep in the zone by Joe Manguso. Bull and then right out in front to Mainstone. Point-blank opportunity and a great save by Bennett Peters. He's been tested a couple times here early, and that was his best save so far.
Oh, yeah, that's a great pad save there, and the player hit the spot he wanted. Peters stuck that right leg out and kept it out.
Starpoint, though, keeping it in here as we approach the 12-minute mark in the first period. Puck comes out to the near point. Muscarella walking the blue line, feeds it down low to Bull, but he can't handle the pass. Billy's going to get a chance to move it out of the zone. This is Beller picking it up in the neutral zone. Gains the red line and dumps it in before heading to the bench for a change. Some light pressure from one Billy forechecker in there, and that's going to create a fairly easy opportunity for Starpoint to move it out, but a little bit lackadaisical there on the left wing boards by Justin Bull. And then the puck is kept in the zone by the Billies. Bull with another opportunity to move it out, but a good play by Davin Krakowiak there to knock it off of his stick. Puck is dumped back into the offensive zone very quickly by Sam Lamondola. A couple of players in there putting some pressure on for Williamsville South, but Starpoint gets it out of the zone, gets it out to center ice. Carrying it forward, this is Gavin Russell. 2 men on him, but he loses control of it as a good bracket coverage there from the Billies. They had the man in front of him, and the back checker applying that back pressure as well.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Very close play there at the blue line. As a little bit of a miscommunication, maybe the one player not realizing that the teammate was offsides, and DeRosier ended up taking it in across the blue line offside, so we have a stoppage in play. 11:05 to go in the first period. Quick moving first period so far, but no goals yet.
No goals yet, but Starpoint has had the better of the chances. I really do expect Williamsville South to kind of turn up the heat a little bit and try to even out these scoring chances.
D pass for Starpoint, and they move it into the neutral zone, just a little bit too far for Mike Merrifield. Get some support, though, from Jim Manguso, and they get it in on net. See if they can apply any pressure here as it's picked up by number 11, Noah Stoffel. Stoffel moves it out of the zone, but unable to connect on a pass in the neutral zone. That's going to give Starpoint a chance to counter. That pass doesn't connect, and now the Billies try to take it back across the blue line. Good play there by Braden Allen, though, to step up and deny that entry. Now an opportunity in tight is carrying it in towards the net was Gavin Russell. He spun to get himself a little bit of room to let that shot go. Just couldn't quite get it inside that far post. Puck ends up being played up and over that short glass yet again, and we have another stoppage in play. I feel like every stoppage has involved the glass over there on the far side, except for the one offsides.
Seriously, anytime that puck is airborne on that far wall, that puck is getting out right now. Look for that. That does matter. It makes it really hard to clear the puck out of the zone and get transition, but it's part of the playing surface, so the players got to deal with it.
Cyrick and Workman here on this draw. Williamsville South getting possession of it right off that face-off. Krakowiak trying to start the breakout from that far corner. They play it behind the net. Now try to do some work here on this near side. Puck is kept in, though, as Starpoint doing a good job of making sure they got back towards the blue line to put pressure on the puck carrier. Puck here in the near corner is Ian Krakowiak again trying to start the breakout. Connects on one pass, but a Starpoint player getting in the way of that second one. That might allow the Spartans to pick it up here in the neutral zone. First one to that loose puck, though, was Nolan Feinberg. He carries it into the offensive zone, gets the shot in on goal, and Carew makes the save on that one. Nolan Feinberg, player we identified in the pregame show as one of the couple of players to keep an eye on with this Williamsville South team. Leading scorer from last year, as well as tied for the leading scorer in this year's campaign as well. And we see another one of the features of Hockey Outlet coming into play here in the first 10 minutes. That is the low ceiling. Certainly there is a home ice advantage to be had here, knowing what you can do and can't do with the puck. Up some boards, you can't go high off the glass, and you can't really go with the lob pass either in this arena.
Absolutely. The beer league special is taken completely out of the equation here. That long home run Hail Mary pass, which also probably allows your defenseman to cheat a little bit, knowing they can't get beat over the top. Starpoint, they know their rink, and Williamsville South clearly needs to adjust here, and I refuse to believe they're the only team that's had to adjust to the small boards and the low ceilings here.
Starpoint putting some pressure on that far side, managing to keep it in the offensive zone. Good play by Reed Mariner to force a loose puck there and get it down low. It ends up being played with a high stick, however, so we have a stoppage in play with 9:16 now remaining in period number one. Still no scoring yet in this one, but Sean, plenty of activity and plenty of chances so far, especially for Starpoint.
Yeah, Starpoint has had the better of the two chances. Williamsville South was able to get a chance handcuffing the goaltender Garu. Here's a shot from the point right here that goes wide, but the majority of the offense has been played in the Williamsville South end.
Good play to evade some of that pressure in the offensive zone. Davin Krakowiak carrying that one forward. Picked up that puck in a pretty dangerous spot, but handled it with poise and carried it out from the mid slot in front of his net all the way to the far blue line. Sam Lamondola picking up the puck there as the whistle is blown, and we're going to have a penalty called. An interference call is signaled, and it's going to be number 17, Ian Krakowiak, going to the box. So it's going to be Starpoint with the first opportunity on the power play, and we'll see if they can continue to ratchet up that pressure in the offensive zone now that they have the man advantage.
I expect that's probably the plan right here, as it usually is on a power play, but especially now because you have had the ice tilted in that direction already to begin with. Now that you get a man advantage, now look for Starpoint to start being selective and picking their shots because they'll have room to do so.
4 forwards out there for this power play look. The only defenseman is actually playing on the half wall there. There's Braden Allen on the far side. Bull here at the near point tries to get a pass into the slot, ends up coming back to Cyrick at the midpoint. Ends up having to retreat back into the neutral zone before the Starpoint Spartans can start up ice again. Minute 42 remaining in the power play, as this is Braden Allen carrying it across the blue line. Drops that pass to Cardarella. Cardarella now carrying that puck, gets it back to the point. D-to-D pass, and now Bull has it here at the near point. Feeds it down low. Cardarella spins and tries to get a pass down low. That one gets intercepted. Billies do a good job of clearing the zone. Nolan Feinberg making sure he sent that one 200 feet. Minute 20 now remaining in the man advantage for Starpoint as Justin Bull picks it up and carries it up the far side.
See ya.
Bull gains the blue line and now carries it in towards the slot. He had 3 different Williamsville South players standing there, essentially creating a wall that made it difficult for him to get it in. Still managed to get set up in the offensive zone, and Bull lets a hard shot go from the near dot. Good save made by Peters. Goes up and over the glass behind him, and we have a stoppage now. A minute 1 remaining on the Starpoint power play, 7:54 left in first period play.
And Coach Clayton is going to keep this line out there for Starpoint. We're halfway through the power play, and the Spartans are going to keep this group out there. They've got Frankie Cardarella, the sophomore, on the point. Oh, they put Krakowiak, another D-man, out there with him too now on the blue line.
Nolan Feinberg creating a loose puck there, but can't get it out of the zone. Kept in here at the near side. This is Jacob Cyrek with the puck. Gets it down low, and then that pass out in front as Justin Bull was looking for a man right in front of the net. Just slid past Cardarella's stick before he can get a touch on that one. Back into the neutral zone with 40 seconds remaining in the power play. Quickly into the offensive zone. Cardarella looking for a shot. Toe drag and fire through the defenseman. Good save made by Bennett Peters. He has had a fair amount of rubber shot at him so far today. Seems to be getting a little bit better every shot that he has faced so far.
Yeah, Starpoint has him engaged right away, and he needs to be to keep them in this, and he has been sharp. Not only is he making the initial saves, but the puck is not landing in any danger areas. When he is kicking out a rebound, low ceiling again. When he is kicking out rebounds, he's playing them to the side. And when the puck hits him square, it sticks to him. So the first shot is usually the last shot, which is great when you're getting peppered by shots.
Still 30 seconds remaining in this power play. Again, it's the same 5 out there for Starpoint. Same 4 as well for Williamsville South. We're going to see basically these 9 guys out here for the full 2 minutes of the power play. Battle for a loose puck in behind the net. Starpoint player unable to win that battle as it was the Williamsville South defenseman getting control of it, sending it the length of the ice. And now just 10 seconds remaining on the power play. As a little bit of pressure being put on here in the offensive zone by the shorthanded team. Feinberg corralling the puck and possessing it, trying to kill off as much time as he can. Does a good job of killing off the remaining seconds on that power play. And now the teams are back to 5-on-5. Cyrek trying to make a pass from that far corner, intercepted by Feinberg. Now he might create something in towards the slot. Just can't quite control that puck well enough to get a decent shot away as the Starpoint defenders were converging on him there right in front of the netminder, Guru. Kind of a soft wrist shot that Guru didn't have a whole lot of trouble with, but that was a dangerous moment there for Starpoint as they had a tired bunch out there that was almost all forwards.
Yes, they were definitely at the end of their shift right there. I mean, it probably looked like lax on camera, but they were out there for 2 straight minutes. That's tough when you have that's tough when you have forwards out there that are not used to playing in their own end with their back to their own net.
Williamsville South with control of it. A couple of shot attempts, both of them missing the net. This one comes back out towards the point. Unable to keep it in there at the near point was number 23, Eric Witt. Now he has to go back into his own zone and play a little bit of defense. This is Austin Bush trying to carry it around behind the net. Unable to maintain control of that puck, and it comes back to the point. Case makes sure it stays in the offensive zone. And now Bush doing a good job of creating a little bit of forecheck pressure in that far corner. Tries to get that pass out in front. Good defense, though, by Williamsville South to make sure that pass didn't connect in front of the net. Davin Krakowiak, one of the 2 leading scorers of this Williamsville South team. Good work there as a 1-on-3, essentially, but a still good shot that he let go. Testing Guru to make that glove save. He did so. Stays a 0-0 hockey game as we have 5:55 remaining here in first period play. Good activity, good intensity so far, Sean, but we're still waiting to see which team will seize the momentum of having the first goal.
Absolutely, and Williamsville South is now starting to tilt the ice back in their favor to balance the scales here. Few shots on the goaltender, Guru. Williamsville South, they're going to get a face-off as well because Starpoint just iced the puck.
Might be one of those situations, Sean, where the successful penalty kill ends up putting a little bit of wind in the sails of the Billies here. They did an excellent job killing that penalty. Really not a whole lot in terms of quality scoring opportunities for Starpoint during those 2 minutes. And see maybe a little bit extra life here in this Williamsville South team as a result.
Yes, and Bennett Peters also did a great job keeping his team in it. When there were chances, he's risen to the task. So he's done his part, and now you're seeing Williamsville South get their legs under them to try and push back on the Starpoint team.
Guess that's what you have to expect from your senior goaltender, to pick up the team when they need him, and he's done so far, keeping this one a 0-0 hockey game as we are just about 12 minutes into the action. Puck won't go far enough for icing in this case, and it's Sam Lamandola starting the breakout. His pass is intercepted. This is Will Mainstone creating an opportunity, but he can't manage to get control of that puck to connect on a pass. And now in the other direction, this is going to be Noah Stoffel into the offensive zone. Takes a big hit there from Muscarella along the near boards. Puck comes out towards the front of the net, but a good defensive play by Justin Bull to make sure that he found control of that puck and got it out of the zone. Carries it into the offensive zone, and Bull just lets that shot go from the top of the circle on the far side. Another good save by Bennett Peters as he might be getting better and better with each shot he faces. I made that suggestion a little while ago, and the saves just keep on improving.
I mean, Justin Bull is one of the best players in this game right now between both teams. No disrespect to anybody, but he's a great player, and he's had his look so far in this period, and Bennett Peters has been right on top of everything he's putting on him right now. I think there may be some familiarity between the 2 players there, Aaron.
Puck comes bouncing out towards the Williamsville South blue line. They find control of it. This is Turchiarelli carrying it into the offensive zone. Lets a shot go through traffic. Fairly easy glove save for Guru. Maybe a hope of a screen there, but a pretty clear look did the Starpoint netminder have on that one. So we have a stoppage in play with 4:44 to go in the first period. Faceoff will be in the far circle of the Starpoint zone.
Oh, and Guru's one of those southpaw goalies too that messes with shooters. So that might have been an attempt for a rebound, but Guru's glove hand was on that side and he grounded it. That matters too.
It matters to guys like us that don't have scoring touch. We just blame it on the right-handed goalie.
Listen, my Be a Pro in NHL had 41 year. Knock it off.
D-to-D pass as Williamsville South looks to move it through the neutral zone. Feinberg a little bit of difficulty finding control of that one, but he battles through the couple of Starpoint players there trying to find possession and gets it into the offensive zone. Puck on the far side now as it's going to be Cargarella trying to get it out of the zone. Second opportunity to get it past the forecheckers, but good work there by Williamsville South as that was Ian Krakowiak on the far side along with Cody Turchiarelli doing a good job of creating that forecheck pressure. Eventually, the Spartans do manage to get it out of the zone, and now Aiden Case carries it through the neutral zone into the offensive end. He stops along the half wall and takes a little bit of a bump, but makes sure it gets down low into the offensive zone. Puck is then cleared back out into center ice, glove down, and then played back in across the blue line, or at least the attempt to play it back in across the blue line by Braden Allen. Eventually, it's Austin Bush that carries it into the offensive zone. Bush has a man with him, but he takes the shot himself up over the glove. Into the top corner. What a pretty goal that was. And it's 1-0 with a little bit less than 4 minutes to go in period number one.
What a play there by Bush. Just gets down on the right side, looks off, almost like he looks off the pass, and then puts a really nice move on the goaltender and puts it under the bar. And just like that, after all the shots and opportunities, Starpoint breaks the glass with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in this period to go up 1-0.
Starpoint gets the game's first goal. They had been knocking on the door, but it took what I guess you'd have to describe as a perfect shot to beat Peters, and that is exactly what that one was by Austin Bush, as it's a 1-0 lead now in favor of the Starpoint Spartans as we are approaching the 3-minute mark of period number one. 2-on-2 battle for a loose puck there on the far side. See who comes out of that fray with it. Actually, it turned into a 3-on-3 battle. Neither team really has possession yet, finally settled down by Mike Merrifield. Starpoint now trying to get it through the neutral zone, but Davin Krakowiak getting in the way there, running into two different Starpoint players. Starpoint does manage to get the puck into the offensive zone. Now trying to put some pressure on there is Jim Manguso. Puck comes back out into the neutral zone. Josh McClellan setting up his defensive partner Braden Allen. Allen just softly plays it into the offensive zone and see if his team can put some pressure on. They do so. Allen now has an opportunity in that far corner as he's looking for a pass there, but two different defenders on him, keeping him from getting that puck out in front. Starpoint, though, keeping it in there at that far side, as this is going to be Reed Mariner controlling it and trying to get a pass out in front of the net. Unable to get that pass away, and eventually picking it up and carrying it up ice is Davin Krakowiak. Krakowiak gains the blue line, but gets ridden into that turnbuckle over there on the far side next to the Starpoint bench. I think we're going to have a penalty called here on this play. No, actually, that was an offsides that was being signaled. That was a dangerous-looking play. Good to see everybody is back on their skates, and none the worse for wear as a result.
Yeah, that was a big-looking play right there, and he went down awkwardly. Really glad to see everybody involved getting up and back into the play because I think everybody in the rink was holding their breath for a second there.
Half a second before they collided with that edge, and then the couple of moments afterwards, certainly something that had everybody's attention. Glad that everybody is none the worse for wear. And there's an opportunity in front of the net. The loose puck picked up by Justin Bull. Again, high glove side into the top corner of the net. It's now 2-0 Spartans as they increase their lead with another goal from in tight.
Yeah, that's a tough break right there for Williamsville South. Puck comes loose on a turnover in the slot, and Justin Bull, who's had 4 wide open looks at the net right there, finally picks a spot right there without a goaltender's glove in it, and right off the bat, after being not snake bitten, but running into a brick wall, 2 shots, 2 goals, and Starpoint looking to maybe blow this thing open a little bit to end this first period now.
Strong finish to the period for sure, as it was basically the Bennett Peters show early on, as he had made a whole bunch of saves in the first 10 minutes. They finally got the formula solved, and now a 2-0 lead in favor of Starpoint as we have a minute and a half to go here in period number one. Starpoint dumping it in. This is going to be Sam Lamondola picking it up, looking to move it up ice. Pass, though, is intercepted. Starpoint again looking to create some pressure down low. Again, it was Justin Bull doing the work there in the near corner, creating that turnover and trying to get that pass out in front. Bull again on the forecheck creates a loose puck, but his pass goes just a little bit behind Cyrek, and that allows Nolan Feinberg to carry it up ice. Good back pressure, though, as the back check of Cardarella made sure that Feinberg didn't have a whole lot of time to do anything as he got it into the offensive zone. Now this could be numbers here for Starpoint. 2-on-2 into the offensive zone. This is Cyrek with control. Fires it through a screen. Looked like it caught maybe just a little bit of the defenseman's shin pad and ended up going high and wide of the net. Puck played back into neutral ice. 45 seconds remaining in the first period. Starpoint looking to create at least one more opportunity before the first period ends. Cardarella with a beautiful pass in front.
Oh, he hit the post.
Just unable to put that one in was Jacob Cyrek. A beautiful setup by Cardarella on the far side. Almost an opportunity for Starpoint to make this one a 3-0 game.
Yeah, Cardarella showing off the mitts today. That's 3 dangles he's put down on Williamsville South defenders. That was a centimeter away from being a highlight reel pass and finish.
Still 20 seconds to go here in the first period as Will South gets it into the offensive zone to try to create a little bit of late pressure. DeRosier with the opportunity to get that one out in front. His teammate, though, couldn't quite corral that one to get a shot away. As Will South again trying to get one last opportunity here before the end of the first period. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to get to it as Cyrek plays it up towards the boards. And the horn sounds to signal the end of period number 1. Certainly the type of first period that the Starpoint Spartans were looking for as they had the better part of play in the first period. Certainly looking at it from offensive zone time perspective. Took a while to get it figured out, though, in terms of scoring, as it was Bennett Peters standing tall throughout the first period, and it took a little bit more than 10 minutes to get that first goal, though, and it was Austin Bush with a pretty goal up under the bar on a rush, and then a similar-looking shot from Justin Bull, making it 2-0. That's our score after one period of play. Sean, what did you see there in the first?
Starpoint came out and executed a game plan to perfection, it appears. They spent most of the period, in the Williamsville South end. Williamsville South definitely had some moments to push back right there, but then once Starpoint got that first goal, the rest of the period for 2 minutes was exclusively in the Williamsville South end. I expect them to continue that, and Williamsville South looking to try to use their speed more to even this out.
All right, we're through with 17 minutes of play here from Hockey Outlet in North Tonawanda. It's a 2-0 score in favor of the Starpoint Spartans. We're going to step away here for about 10 minutes while the ice is resurfaced, but we'll be rejoining you with second period play right here on the Nickel City Hockey Network. And welcome back to Hockey Outlet as we are set for second period play between the Starpoint Spartans and the Williamsville South Billies. It's a 2-0 game after one period of play in favor of Starpoint. Both the goals coming late in the period. First one coming from Austin Bush, the second one from Justin Bull. It's a 2-0 lead after 17 minutes of play. Thank you for joining us on our coverage tonight of Section 6 Hockey here on the Nickel City Hockey Network. My name's Aaron Elpern. Thank you so much for joining us alongside color commentator Sean McHugh as we get ready for second period play. And Sean, certainly Starpoint looks to continue that momentum from the first.
Absolutely, especially the momentum they gained right at the end of the first. With the last 3 minutes, they got 2 goals and solved the goaltender that was playing and still is playing outstanding. I expect Starpoint to put the pedal to the metal here in the second period, and I expect Williamsville South to try to offer a ferocious pushback to get back into this game. Like we know this, Aaron, both these teams are known for playing close hockey games.
See what sort of message was delivered in the locker room between periods and which team comes out with a little extra fire in the belly here in period number 2 as we're about 30 seconds into the period. Opportunity to carry it through the neutral zone for Jim Manguso. He gets it into the offensive zone, fires a shot from distance on net. There's a rebound chance there, and the shot coming from along the goal line by Gavin Russell going off the arm of the netminder Peters.
Nice catch.
Williamsville South with a nice pass and connection there in the neutral zone. Turchiarelli doing a good job to collect that pass, making sure it gets into the offensive zone. Now they're putting some pressure on in this near corner. 3 different Williamsville South players in that corner, but they're unable to come out with the puck, as this is going to be Gavin Russell trying to get it out against the near boards. Unable to do so as Turchiarelli's shot from distance is caught by the glove of Rich Carew, and he sets up the breakout, but that pass doesn't connect, and Williamsville South keeps it in. Back to the point, Ian Krakowiak's shot comes through traffic. That one's blocked before it could get to the net, and that's going to create an opportunity for Starpoint to get it out of the zone, all the way into the offensive zone. Icing is waved off, and Mainstone is the first one on it in the offensive end. Mainstone turns and tries to avoid one defender, keeping the puck away from him. Good job of protecting that puck there in that far corner. Ends up cycling it down low here into this near corner. Now a battle for the puck in the near boards. Comes back out into the front. Mainstone with an opportunity. That's that backhand pass to Bull, just doesn't quite connect. Now back in behind the net to Mainstone as he starts it back around that far wall. Kept in by Aiden Case. But that puck is picked up by Shane Nice, and he looks to start it up this near side. Good play by Bull to get right on top of that player there as he caught the pass and keeping it in. Sam Lamendola now getting it out of the zone finally, as Williamsville South having a little bit of difficulty connecting on passes here in this first couple of minutes of period number 2. That pass doesn't connect, and it almost goes for icing, but it ends up going off the skate of Aiden Case. He ends up picking it up in that far corner and starting the breakout with a D-to-D pass. And now it's going to be Justin Bull carrying it in across the blue line. Loses his balance, but still gets a shot away. Toe save made by Bennett Peters. As he continues to be challenged here in this game. He's been a very busy netminder, number 29, the senior netminder for Williamsville South. Now this is the freshman Beller carrying it into the offensive zone. Tries to make a move around the defenseman. Good work there. Not giving him any lane to get around him was Joe Manguso. Right below our broadcast position as Justin Bull picks it up and fires a backhand pass off the near boards, picked up by Will Mainstone. Mainstone back to Case, but that pass doesn't connect. Now an opportunity potentially with numbers from Williamsville South, but the player ended up looking in the wrong direction for that puck. Nathan Lamendola was expecting it over his backhand shoulder. It was on the other side, and he ended up unable to get possession of that puck. In the offensive zone now for Starpoint as it comes back to the point. Kept in by Muscarella. Gets that pass along to Cardarella, and then Cardarella plays it in behind the net. Comes out towards the near point. Kept in by Austin Bush, the first goal scorer today. Puck was played with a high stick, but that one is washed out as Starpoint keeps it in the offensive zone. Cyrek putting some pressure on behind the net. Has possession of it, but his pass back to the point ends up in the skates of Joe Muscarella, and Muscarella has to retreat back into the neutral zone before Starpoint can counter. Pass just a little bit out of the reach of Austin Bush, and now that creates an opportunity to move it up the far wall into the offensive zone. This is Stoffel letting a shot go, but that one goes off the glass behind the net. Puck is kept in here along the near boards, but only briefly as Allen breaks that pressure and gets it out of the zone. Now Bush carrying it in towards the slot, tried to get that shot through the defenseman's legs. Good block there by Nice, and keeping that one from getting in on net. This is Davin Krakowiak picking up the puck and looking to carry it up ice up the left wing. A couple of players in tight, though, with good proximity and pressure on him. Austin Bush creating that loose puck, and then he tries to flip it up high into the offensive zone. Too much loft on that one. It goes off the ceiling, and we have a stoppage in play just under the 13-minute mark of period number 2. Similar to period number 1 so far, Sean, as it's been Starpoint certainly in control of the pace of this game.
Yeah, Starpoint really has kind of added a little pressure to the foot on the gas mentality they had in the first period, and they're really pushing right now. Williamsville South needs a power player. They need a breakout or something right now because the ice is almost tilted at a 90-degree angle towards the Williamsville South end.
And when Williamsville South does have an opportunity to get it up ice, they have been doing a lot of one and done in the offensive zone, and then it's back in the other direction to play defense. That's exactly what's happening right now. Puck comes back to the point, shot right in on goal by Josh McClellan. Save was made by Peters, but it's going to be Starpoint maintaining possession. Comes back out to the point, and DeRosier gets it out of the zone finally, but he's unable to get it much past the center red line. Teammates supporting him, though. Stoffel gets it in the offensive zone, let a hard wrist shot go. That one just missing that far post as he was trying to go blocker side on Garou.
Yeah, that thing was wired, too. He got all of that shot. Unfortunately, he just put it by the post.
Feinberg picking it up along his own blue line and circling and starting it up ice with a head of steam into the offensive zone. Makes a move. Shot on the backhand. Good save by Garou as he slid across his crease to deny that opportunity. Puck on the far wall kept in by Williamsville South. Stoffel with a cross-ice pass. Sam Lamandolo tries to get that shot in from the point. That one's blocked on its way through. And now Starpoint looking to counter. This is Gavin Russell. Russell fakes the shot, then takes it, and ends up getting deflected by the defenseman Sam Lamandola. Goes up in the protective netting behind the Williamsville South cage. And we get a stoppage in play with 11:29 now remaining in the second period. It's still a 2-0 Starpoint lead. Both of those goals scored in period number 1.
Yeah, but again, Williamsville South needs to do something. They had a little bit there, but again, like you had said, Aaron, all of Williamsville South's offense in the second period has been one shot and out. And against this Starpoint team that plays a structure, that plays the way they do, that's not going to do it. You need some zone time. You need to kind of push them back into their own end a little bit. Williamsville South looking to do that here. But look at the back check here by the Spartans.
Yeah, Starpoint certainly not going to make it easy on you. All 5 back there with great pressure supporting defensively, making it fairly easy for them to start the counter up in the other direction.
Yeah, we're not saying Williamsville South is not playing well. That means just Starpoint just has a forecheck right now that is absolutely just putting suffocating pressure right now on the Billies.
And they're maintaining the discipline and playing a full 200-foot game, making sure they deny the offensive opportunities on the other side. Now they're here in the offensive zone as Reed Mariner's shot gets blocked, but he gets another opportunity, almost catches a pass out in front.
Ow.
Shot coming in from the point there is Aiden Case led into one. This creates a 2-on-1. However, Feinberg carries it in, takes the shot himself, and he shoots and scores. Nolan Feinberg, the leading scorer for the Williamsville South Billies, gets his team on the board. It's a 2-1 hockey game, and that's the break Williamsville South needed.
Yep, when you're getting hemmed in your own end right now, you need to take advantage of the opportunity when it presents itself right there, and that is exactly what Williamsville South did. Great blocked shot. There was a one-timer from the point that was blocked and kicked out to the neutral zone. We had a 2-on-1 going the other way, and the forward number 12, Noah Feinberg, doing a great job of keeping his eyes moving on the defender, on the goaltender, on the defender, and then at the last second lets a hard snapshot go below the southpaw glove of the goaltender Garou, where he did not have the stick. And Williamsville South cuts the lead in half with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left in this period.
Nolan Feinberg's 6th of the season, 11th point of the year, and Williamsville South is on the board. We have a 2-1 hockey game. We had talked about how the rink had been certainly slanted in the direction of Starpoint so far for the last probably about 10 minutes of play, if not longer. But that's the kind of break that Williamsville South needed. They took advantage of it. Now they're on the board. Now they look to continue that momentum. Shot from distance, right in on goal. Save is made by Garou. There was a rebound there briefly, but good work by the defenseman to clear it out of danger. Puck comes out towards center ice. Beller picking it up there, tries to make a pass back to his defenseman. Almost ended up as a dangerous opportunity there as Cardarella was hunting that puck. And a really good play by Shane Neese to keep that one from being an opportunity in alone.
Ooh, Beller put it between a guy's legs right there. That was nasty.
And there he is again in behind the net. Beller looking to keep it away from Cyrek, but good defense there by number 17 to create a loose puck, but it's going to be Davin Krakowiak getting a loose puck in return. His pass back to the point, however, unable to be kept in by Shane Nice. And now an opportunity for Starpoint to break it out without too much pressure on them. That pass doesn't quite connect to Austin Bush. And now back into the Williamsville South zone. Nice little D-to-D pass there, and they have a window up that far wall. Into the offensive zone, Noah Stoffel. His shot just barely missing wide. He had a lot on that one. Comes back out to the point. Williamsville South keeping it in the zone here. That pass, though, doesn't connect, and that creates an opportunity for Russell to carry it up the right wing. Russell cuts towards the middle of the ice there, and just a little bit of miscommunication. The crossed wires there between Russell and Manguso. Manguso just stepping in across the blue line to avoid being run into by his teammate, essentially. Ends up creating the offsides call. 9:14 is what now remains in period number 2. It's a 2-1 hockey game in favor of Starpoint, but the most recent goal was the one scored by Nolan Feinberg, the captain of the Williamsville South Billies.
Yes, and Williamsville South definitely has some pep in their step after getting that first goal. They're doing a lot better of cycling in the offensive zone. They've got some juice in their legs right now, and Starpoint looking to counter right now.
Mike Merrifield getting it deep into that far corner, but unable to maintain possession. Now an opportunity maybe to move the puck up ice with some numbers for the Billies. Get it into the offensive zone. Jacob Loretz dumping it into that near corner. Braden Allen, though, picking it up in that far side and looking to start the breakout. Gets it up ice. This could be a 2-on-1 developing for Starpoint if they're quick about it. This is Merrifield into the offensive zone. That backhand shot was probably not the if he had to do it over again, he would probably reconsider that one, as it ended up going high and wide of the net. But they still managed to keep it in the zone here.
I don't think Merrifield knew he had a 2-on-1 right there. You didn't hear the bench saying 2-1. I think he thought he was 1-on-1 right there, because as soon as he picked his head up, he kind of threw his head to the ceiling, wishing he knew his teammate was there. So want to see the Starpoint bench talk a little bit more right there, because that's a missed. Oh, my God!
Weird bounce coming in off the back glass. Hits a stanchion right along that door that both of the teams used to get on and off the ice. It hit the stanchion there and came right out to Justin Bull in front. And Peters, again, had to be on his game to make sure that this stayed a 2-1 hockey game.
Yeah, that's one of those old rinks right there. That hits a stanchion in the glass and honestly throws the best saucer pass we've seen all night right into the slot right there. And the goaltender, Peters, had to get right on top of that blue paint quick to make that save. Another one of those funky little hockey outlet bounces you get here if you're Starpoint.
That's one of those things where if the goaltender isn't on top of his game and realizing what's going on, that he could easily be caught looking the other way and end up getting that one tucked into an empty net. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why that wasn't a holding the stick penalty either.
I mean, he held the stick, isn't? I mean, did it get caught in his pants? It might have.
The referee obviously did have a better view of it. He was a lot closer than we were.
I mean, the player was literally with two hands pulling on the stick and couldn't get it.
Didn't hear a whole lot of argument coming from the Starpoint bench either.
Good pass.
Right onto the tape of Mainstone. Cuts in towards the slot. Lets that shot go. What a great save. Bennett Peters just barely getting the right arm on that one to deny the opportunity in tight for Will Mainstone. Great setup and a great chance there for the Starpoint Spartans. And another save by Bennett Peters.
Yeah, and Bennett Peters is feeling it right now. He did the old goaltender bang his glove and blocker together to show that he's in the zone right now.
Certainly his team's going to need that for the rest of the way, as they've been under a lot of pressure here from Starpoint in this game, but they've done a good job of staying within shouting distance, and that most recent goal that they scored has given them that little bit of extra life, and you see just a little bit of extra time that they're spending in the offensive zone as a result of that added confidence. Loose puck on the far wall, carried up ice. Joe Manguso into the offensive zone, tries to cut towards the slot, but there are three Williamsville South players waiting for him there. Cyrek finding a loose puck and making sure it gets deep into the offensive zone. Puck is then played up the near wall. This is Beller with it on his stick. He avoids that hit that was coming from Austin Bush and just plays it into neutral ice.
Bush had a lot of intentions with that hit right there, and Beller got away from it right before the truck hit him.
Bush now with an opportunity to get a shot in on goal. The first one was blocked. Found that rebound, though, and got a second one away. Good save again by Peters. Keep this one a 2-1 game. Face-off coming up in the Williamsville South zone as we have 6:20 now remaining in second period play. Continued with the exciting back-and-forth action so far. There hasn't really been a whole lot of slowness to this game so far, Sean, as both teams certainly have plenty of legs and are not shy about getting up ice and moving those legs.
No, if you thought there had to be a feeling out process in this second period for any reason, put that to bed right now. We are in gear right now, and both of these teams are in the straightaway, and they are firing right now.
Puck comes out to the far side, and this is going to be Ferrari carrying it into the offensive zone. Drop pass there along the blue line. A little bit of a dangerous pass as Stoffel had to reach to get to it. Ends up losing control of it. Now it's going to be Bush coming back in the other direction, into the zone. Tries to go for that far corner. It looked like he had it.
He had it.
Just barely missing the net high and wide. Kept in, though, by Starpoint. Cardarella makes a move to get around one man. Backhand shot in on goal. Save is made by Peters. Not sure if that one was going to hit the outside of the net or not, but he made sure that he made the stop and covered it up for a no second chance opportunity, as Peters has picked up right where he left off in period number one. Can't really blame him for either of those two first period goals. and he has been excellent here in period number 2.
Absolutely has been, Aaron. And speaking of excellent, we're talking about the bevy of seniors Starpoint has. But number 19, the sophomore Frankie Cardarella, this program is in great hands with players like him in their future. That is the 4th time he has walked around a defenseman and created a beautiful scoring chance. I really think he's going to get one tonight.
Puck on the far wall. Manguso trying to get it out of the zone, but he's got pressure right on him. He's going to need a little bit of help, and it's going to be Muscarella making that cross-ice pass. It doesn't connect, but it gets out into center ice. Forces Williamsville South to regroup in the neutral zone. Puck comes back out into center ice. Neese will have to be quick about it there as he has a player right on him. Puck is picked up by Allen as he looks to carry it up ice. Takes a hit, though, and loses control of it right along the Williamsville South blue line. Puck is played into center ice. Now a battle for a loose puck there on the far side. Mike Merrifield getting run over there just in front of the scorekeeper's box. And now a chance to get a shot in on goal for Williamsville South. Letting that one go is Derek Wortman, but a good save by Garut. Battle for a loose puck in the far corner. This is Nolan Feinberg finding control of it. He tries to get that one out in front, but it hits a Starpoint stick and ends up caroming all the way back down into Williamsville South territory. Puck on edge was starting to roll back towards the net. Bennett Peters ended up playing it to a defenseman. And finally they move it forward, but that passes in between any potential intended targets, actually not really near anyone. And that one's going to go for icing on the play. So 4:33 now remains here in the second period. It's a 2-1 game in favor of Starpoint, but the only goal here in period number 2 so far, Sean, was scored by the Billies.
Yes, Starpoint's had the possession, but I think the chances are slightly in favor of Starpoint, but a lot closer to even than they were in the first period. Williamsville South still riding some momentum here, skating much better, much harder than they were after getting that goal. But Starpoint's kind of starting to put some pressure back on, so it's going to be really interesting to see who gets that next goal. It's going to be huge.
Puck in the far corner. Williamsville South defender finding control of it, but a little bit of difficulty connecting on a pass there as there were 3 different Starpoint players right on top of him, keeping that the passing lanes from opening up. Finally, they do get it out of the zone to the Billies, but only briefly as it's sent right back in across their blue line. And it's going to be Witt trying to start the breakout up the near side. Nobody there to accept that pass in the neutral zone, and Starpoint again finding control of it. Puck is deflected into the offensive zone by Will Mainstone, but it's going to be the Will South Billies here picking it up and controlling it, getting it out towards center ice. Unable to do much with it there, though, as it's again going to be number 8, Will Mainstone, dumping it right back into the offensive zone. Hits that same stanchion and takes a funny bunch right out in front of the net. Here's a chance to get that shot away. Just unable to really load up on that wrist shot was Reed Mariner. Mariner has control of it here along the blue line. Makes sure it gets down into this near corner. Witt tries to get it out of the zone. He does connect on a pass. It's going to be Churchiarelli trying to carry it out. Got pressure on him, though, and tight, though, as Starpoint doing a good job of making sure that puck didn't get out of the zone in that first attempt. They do manage to get it out to the Billies, but now they're trying to put some pressure on here in the offensive zone. Sam Lamondola keeping it in from his right point position. Oh! That allows a shot to be labeled there by Cody Churchiarelli. That one was under the bar, but
the net came off too.
The net came off as well.
What a shot!
That was off the cross, right at the junction of the crossbar and the post. Just unable to get that one underneath the post. Looked like it could have been in, but kind of tough to tell from this angle as we are about 150 feet or 100 feet away here. Not really sure how good of a look that was.
No, I can't tell from here. It made one dinging sound. So whatever bar it hit it clean and came out. Williamsville South didn't celebrate, and Starpoint continued playing. So I'm not thinking that puck was in the net, but Williamsville South came that close to tying this game.
Starpoint now looking to regain their advantage here in this game. That puck is dumped into the offensive zone, but the low ceiling barely touches that one as Austin Bush dumped it in on the backhand. Just caught a little bit of the netting under the ceiling here at Hockey Outlet. So 2:53 is what now remains in period number 2. As it's a 2-1 hockey game. The only goal here in period number 2 was scored by Will South. But it's been very similar to period number 1, Sean, in which Starpoint has been the team in control, setting the pace of play here in this game.
Yes, definitely, and Starpoint looking to continue that trend right now. They're still trying to solve the goaltender, Peters, again for the first time in this period. He hasn't lost any stride or any confidence, so it's not about to get easy to get that 2-goal lead back for Starpoint. And Williamsville South, though, they got a tall task getting 2 on Starpoint as well.
Puck along the Starpoint blue line. Good pass there by Case right onto the tape of Cyrek, and he carries it into the offensive zone. Cyrek now circling the net, looking for a passing option. into that far corner, reverses directions, and has now 2 players on him. Unable to get that pass behind the net to Austin Bush, and that allows Davin Krakowiak to pick it up and get that puck into neutral ice. This is Jacob Loretz getting it into the offensive zone. Tries to get a pass out towards the slot, but it hits a defenseman's skate. Aiden Case doing good work there to create a loose puck, and now he's looking to get it out of the zone as he carries it up the near wall. Case's first attempt doesn't get past the Williamsville South forecheckers, and that allows the Billies to keep it in the offensive zone. This is Austin Bush on the far side. Nice move to avoid that pressure and get it up ice. This is Carterella into the offensive zone. Tries to make a move to get a shot away. Unable to do so, and it stays down low, however. As Starpoint putting on some pressure here in the offensive zone yet again as we approach 1.5 minutes to go in the second period. Davin Krakowiak carrying it into the offensive zone for Will South. Takes a hit as he lets that shot go. Good save made by the left pad of Guru. It's going to be a penalty called here, though, as looks like that hit came in a little bit late, according to the referee. Bennett Peters to the bench for Williamsville South to get the extra attacker out there, but the whistle blows as the interference call is signaled by the referee here in the neutral zone, as it looks like he's signaling for somebody that's on the bench for Starpoint to go and serve that penalty.
Ooh, trying to be sneaky and get off the ice, huh?
Yeah, here comes Austin Bush to serve the penalty, number 9, getting in from the forward spot of the Starpoint bench. So only our second penalty of the game, the first opportunity now for Will South in the power play.
And this is, again, they got the first break they needed on a block shot and an odd man rush, and now they're getting the break they need by getting a man advantage here. With 1 minute left, this is huge, Aaron. We refer to this part of the game as the witching hour. These goals late in periods, if you can get one, huge momentum going into the third period.
They don't count for any more than 1 goal, but they seem to feel like they count for more.
It's just, yes, the momentum they can bring and the momentum they can take is the important part, especially in a 1-goal game right now.
It's like a goal and a quarter, but you round down.
Yes, it's a goal that has a better rebate on it if you send it in.
Fair. I like that. Good resale value.
I did work in sales for a little bit. Not anymore, though. I hated it.
Minute 33 in the Williamsville South power play as they had a little bit of difficulty getting it up ice there, finally getting it set up here in the offensive zone. Actually not quite getting it set up as they can't maintain possession. Good play by Allen to create a loose puck and get that one sent the length of the ice. Now 1:20 to go in the power play, but just 30 seconds remaining in the second period. Davin Krakowiak carrying it up the left side, but getting squeezed off pretty successfully there by Will Mainstone, forcing the Will South Billies to regroup in the neutral zone before they eventually get it in across the blue line. Turcharelli there with the shot from distance, but that one misses the net wide. 12 seconds to go in the period as Davin Krakowiak carries it around behind the net, drops that pass for Feinberg. Feinberg tries to get that one out in front of the net, unable to do so. Eventually, though, Feinberg has it again, now tries for that wraparound attempt. I don't know if he ended up getting that one in the net, but the net came off before he did, if in fact he did, because the net ended up sliding towards him where he was coming around the far post.
Feinberg really, really has to think about passing right there. I mean, I understand he's a goal scorer and a leading scorer, and I'm certainly not going to call him selfish here. I know he's aware that there's little time left, but if he picks his head up, he's got a guy right in the slot open. Got to think he's got to try to feed that in front next time, and I think he'll get that next time.
Extra attacker out here for Will South. 1.7 seconds left, and they pull the goaltender to get 6 skaters out there. Let's see if it pays off for them. Doesn't look like it's going to, though. Is a pretty cleanly won face-off there by number 8, Will Mainstone, and that allows the period to come to an end. 46 seconds, though, will remain on the Williamsville South power play when we get started in period number 3 again, but certainly have to be happy with that period if you're the Williamsville South Billies. I don't think you would make an argument that they were the better team in that period, but they had more goals.
That's what it comes down to. And again, they did not play a bad period, but Starpoint had the zone time. Starpoint had the better chances, and Starpoint pushed the play. But to Williamsville South's credit, as though they were on their heels for a lot of that period, when they got an opportunity, they cashed in on it. Very interesting to see how this third period is going to play out. Like we have said multiple times and what the coaches have said to us, when these two teams play, it's almost a foregone conclusion that it's going to be a 1-goal game, sans an empty netter. So it's a 1-goal game going into the third, so I expect drama and intensity coming in for this third period.
Maybe start to see a little bit of potential frustration building up on the Starpoint side because they've played a really strong game here. They have had they've had the majority of the offensive zone time, probably by a considerable amount here in this game, but they only lead 2-1 after 2 periods of play. see whether or not that ends up leaking into how they play in the third period, whether or not they try to force it a little bit more and try to create a little bit of extra offense, depending on what they've seen there so far from these first two periods.
Yes, I mean, granted, it goes without saying, the next goal is going to dictate everything. If Starpoint can get that goal, they're not going to sit in a shell. That's not how they play, but that can give them the room to focus more on defense. But if South gets that goal, buckle up, because these are two teams that know each other. They're going to be on a collision course to get this thing won. And like you said, Aaron, there's familiarity with the two teams playing each other, and the players know each other on top of it. So, I mean, I think we're ready for a dramatic third period.
It's a 2-1 hockey game after 34 minutes of play. We have 17 minutes to go here from Hockey Outlet in North Tonawanda, New York. Certainly excited to see what the third period will have in store for us. Stay tuned. We're going to take a little bit of a break for second intermission. Be back in about 10 minutes with period number 3 on the Nickel City Hockey Network. And welcome back to Hockey Outlet in North Tonawanda, New York, as we are set for third period play between the Starpoint High School Spartans and the Williamsville South Billies. It's a Section 6 Fed hockey battle here. 2-1 is our score after 2 periods of play. Starpoint is in the lead here, but it's been obviously a tight game with the score being 2-1. And we're certainly excited to see what the last 17 minutes of regulation will bring us here from Hockey Outlet. Hello, I'm Aaron Elpern. Thank you for joining us here on the broadcast on the Nickel City Hockey Network alongside color commentator Sean McHugh, camera operator Jeff Jazarowski, as we are certainly excited to start our coverage of Section 6 hockey here this evening. And Sean, we've been treated to a pretty good game so far.
We definitely been treated to an exciting game, and we're also going to be treated to some drama in the third period, I think. Starpoint has had the better opportunities and the better zone time. Williamsville South, though, isn't going away. They're getting outstanding goaltending, and they capitalized on the big chance they had, and now they're going to start this period on the power play. So a golden opportunity to get this thing back even.
40 seconds remaining on that power play and fresh ice to work with, but the first possession of the power play in the third period is by the penalty-killing team. Justin Bull finding that loose puck, sending it the length of the ice. Now Will South getting it back into the offensive zone. Let's see if they can put any pressure on him behind the net. Beller creating a turnover there and behind the net, but he loses control of it again. It's number 7, Justin Bull, finding that one, sending it the length of the ice right onto Peters. Not sure that was the smoothest save that he would have liked to have made, but he did manage to angle it off towards the corner without any more than just a deep breath from some of the people that were watching. 3 seconds left in that power play, and it looks like it's going to be an opportunity by the wayside. Almost an opportunity for Mainstone there in front as he looked to take the puck away from the Williamsville South puck carrier and create his own opportunity. Wow. Certainly a little bit of casualness there with the puck there from the Will South Billies here early on in the third.
I mean, the only thing that hasn't happened is they've been scored on yet. This is not a great start to the period here for Williamsville South.
Yeah, Justin Bull again making his presence known there just as that penalty expired, getting one shot away there from a little bit of a tough angle along those far boards, but forcing Peters to make another save. And now Starpoint and Williamsville South making a change here as we're a little bit more than a minute into the action here in the third period. Still a 2-1 game in favor of Starpoint.
Yep, and Starpoint again, the penalty is over with, and they're going to get an offensive zone faceoff and looking to do what they've pretty much done the entire game. For the most part, just possess Williamsville South. And here's a shot from the point that just misses the far post.
Loose puck controlled there by Starpoint. This is Russell in behind the net, tries to feed a pass out in front on the backhand, ends up hitting a skate of a defenseman. Comes along these near boards, kept in by the defenseman Allen. Pass out in front, just a little bit out of the reach of Cyrick, and that's going to create an opportunity for the Billies to get it out, but a good play there on the far side by the defenseman Josh McClellan, making sure that one didn't get out of the zone. He jumped right on top of that. Good instincts on the pinch by the defenseman on the far side. Noah Stoffel looking to carry it up ice, but he's got a couple of different people on him, and he takes a big hit from Braden Allen along the near wall. Creates a loose puck, and now Starpoint's going to get a chance to get it out of the zone on the far side, but it's in the skates of Gavin Russell. Eventually he digs it out of there and gets it back into the neutral zone. Sent right back into the offensive zone, though, by Williamsville South. They're trying to execute a change here, and that gives Austin Bush plenty of time and space to carry the puck. Ends up dropping it back to the defenseman Allen, then up to Mainstone and deflected into the offensive zone as we're under 15 minutes to go in regulation. Loose puck picked up by the Williamsville South defenseman, and this is going to be Davin Krakowiak carrying it up ice, but he gets stripped of that one by Justin Bull. We've called Justin Bull's name a ton today. He's already got one of the goals here in this game, and he has been a force in all 3 zones so far. Here's an opportunity in tight, as that was Mainstone right on top of the crease, digging for that rebound opportunity, just couldn't get it quite past Peters. And we'll get an offensive zone draw coming up here for Starpoint as they have continued their momentum from period number 2. That power play really didn't seem to carry over very well for Williamsville South into the third.
Oh, you could say that again, Aaron. And then the momentum of killing it and getting it done once and for all seems to have led to some momentum here for the Spartans as they're just hemming Williamsville South in their own end right here.
They won control of the faceoff there, got it over to Bull, but he couldn't get that shot past the defenseman's stick, ended up being deflected up into the protective netting above the ice. We'll get a faceoff again from that same dot as this line here from Starpoint has been certainly dangerous. The Mainstone and Bull in particular have been creating all sorts of problems for the Williamsville South defenders here in this game. Both of them on top of their games so far today. Shot taken from distance. A little bit of difficulty handling that one there by Guru as Nathan Lamondola let that shot go from in between the blue line and the top of the circles. Save was made by Guru, and he ends up covering it up for a whistle. 14:08 now remains here in third period play. Starpoint still clinging to that 2-1 lead.
Yeah, Williamsville South finally going to get some offensive zone time here, and they're right out the faceoff. Oh, it snuck through his arm too.
Yeah, Workman winning that faceoff cleanly back to the goal scorer Feinberg. Almost got that one past the netminder Guru. Up ice was Justin Bull, but he had three different Williamsville South players waiting for him there in the defensive end. They created that loose puck, and now they try to do something with it, but it looks like we're going to have a penalty called here. Referee here in the neutral zone has his arm up. Neither goalie has left their crease. Finally, we get the whistle blown and the penalty signal to say cross-checking call, and it looks like it's going to Will Mainstone based on the conversation he's currently having with the referee.
Yeah, he's very confused right now. He's saying he's not sure what the call is. I didn't get a good look at it, so I couldn't see it here. But the ref's arm went up immediately, and Williamsville South again is going to get an opportunity to get this thing evened up.
They did a decent job with the first part of the power play back in the second period. They were unable to carry that over into the third period. We'll see which unit has the better confidence right now, whether or not it's the Williamsville South group that's out there right now or the Starpoint penalty killers, which were so successful at killing off that last one.
Yeah, it's not to be overstated. This is the biggest moment of the game right here for either team.
It's a one-goal game with 13 and a half to go in regulation, and a big opportunity on the power play for Williamsville South. A little bit of a casual pass. It does finally get up ice, but it ends up resulting in Beller getting run over in front of the Starpoint bench. Spartans find control of the puck and send it back into Williamsville South territory. Now a minute 35 remaining on this power play. This time that first pass connects, but it's going to be Davin Krakowiak with a little bit of difficulty with that puck in his skates, and it comes back in across the Williamsville South line as it's Reed Mariner putting some pressure on shorthanded. Eventually Krakowiak gets that puck away from him and now carrying it up through the neutral zone. Finds Feinberg along the blue line, tries to make a move around Allen, but he loses control of it. Two number 16s collide there in the corner, and Davin Krakowiak goes chasing in after it, takes another hit, but eventually gets it to Beller. Beller back to the point. Now he has it again there at the half wall. Back to the point to Neese. Neese again playing catch with Beller there on the far side. One of them's going to have to take a shot eventually. Neese looking for a different passing option. That one a little bit too far out of the reach of Turchiarelli. Turchiarelli has control of it, though, as he skates the blue line and then fires a shot from distance. That one went off the arm of the netminder Guru. Didn't quite know where it went afterwards as it just barely deflected wide. Puck kept in. Beller has it on the far side. Back to the point. 36 seconds remaining in this power play. Beller walking in from that left side wall. Let that shot go, and a save made by Guru, but it stays here in the offensive zone as Turchiarelli has it along the blue line. 25 seconds remaining in the power play as that shot goes high and wide. It comes back out all the way in through the neutral zone. Back into Williamsville South territory. Is unable to get over to the boards there was Davin Krakowiak to keep it in. Ends up going back into his own zone to pick it up. Now carrying it up ice and across his own blue line. Krakowiak makes one extra move at the blue line, and that one ends up resulting in an offside. So just 5 seconds remaining here in this power play, Sean. And they had it set up there in the zone. And they definitely had the puck possessed along the perimeter.
Wouldn't shoot it.
Yeah, they just didn't really do a whole lot with it and getting it in towards the more dangerous areas.
I mean, in some respect, you might even think Williamsville South did Starpoint a favor. Starpoint probably had no problem with them playing catch on the blue line. I mean, they're 25 feet away from the net. So, again, not a great power play by Williamsville South. They've had two chances, and this is not characteristic of Starpoint to give multiple chances to teams. And Williamsville South, big missed opportunity for them.
Oh, and shot through a screen right there as that was Josh McClellan letting that one go. I'm not sure Peters knew he had it under the pad. I wasn't sure he had it under the pad. There was that extra little moment there to determine exactly what was going to be the call there, whether it was going to be blown dead or whether we were going to see a referee pointing at the net.
Yeah, that would have been a nervous moment for all the Williamsville South players here. And another shot off the butt end.
Yeah, Justin Bull again letting that one go from the top of the circle, testing Peters as he has numerous times today. I got Bull at around 6 or 7 shots on goal already.
Yeah, and probably another, 4 or 5 shot attempts that have been blocked or, didn't get it. Oh, here we go.
There he is in front. Oh, just couldn't quite make the move to get it to the forehand.
Shoot it.
In tight there, tried to make that extra move to get it around the netminder.
He was trying to break the goaltender right there. Did we get another penalty?
Yeah, we have a penalty here behind the play. It's a tripping call being signaled. And it was
straight to the bench.
Yeah, I saw Josh McClellan was the one that ended up falling to the ice there for Starpoint. This one's going to be a Williamsville South penalty, and it's going to be a tripping call against number 22, and that is Sam Ferrari. Nope, I take it back. It looked like he was getting into the penalty box, but then he quickly veered toward the bench, and it's actually Ian Krakowiak taking the 2-minute minor for tripping. So we said that power play for Williamsville South a moment ago was a huge point in the game. This one is another one of those. This is a chance for Starpoint to give themselves some breathing room.
Yep, and they want that too, and they're sending that same unit out there that played the duration of their one chance out there again.
This is Mainstone in behind the net, getting things set up. Over to the far wall. Allen back to the point to Cyrek. Quickly back to Allen. Now into the slot. Shot taken by Carterella. That one just went wide. Battle for a loose puck in behind the net. It's going to be Mainstone finding possession. Gets it to Bull. Bull trying to make that cross-ice pass through the crease. Couldn't quite get it all the way across to Allen. Bull, though, has it again here in the near circle. Backhand shot in on net. Nice shooting idea there. Backhand shot is never a bad idea because they're really hard to figure out where they're going. In that case, Bennett Peters managed to make the save and keep this one a 2-1 game, but I think this power play unit is getting a little bit more confident now.
Absolutely, and Derek Bull's got a mentality. I can get behind 100 times out of 100. When there's nothing there, put it on net, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. And they're getting more offensive zone faceoffs and more stress on the Williamsville South penalty kill. There he is again on the forecheck, causing a turnover.
Something about games that we broadcast in Justin Bull. He had 3 goals in the game we were here last year when they played against Hamburg. He's got 1 here today, and he's been all over the ice so far.
Well, when he gets drafted, he can thank us in his acceptance speech.
His shot just missing the net wide there. Might hit off the arm of the netminder, but Starpoint keeping it in. Just for a moment, though, is a good play by Feinberg to create a loose puck and send it the length of the ice. 1 minute exactly in the Starpoint power play as the dangerous Justin Bull makes that first pass up ice. This is Braden Allen carrying it in across the blue line. Gains the offensive zone and stops there and drops it back to the point. Cyrek walking the blue line, tries to get that shot through a screen. It pinballed a couple of times off of 2 different players. Almost ended up in a dangerous area in the end. Cyrek keeping it in here as we have 35 seconds remaining in the power play. Pass out in front to Allen. Just couldn't quite corral it cleanly to get that shot away, but a nice look there from Mainstone. Feinberg finding a loose puck, getting it out to the blue line, clearing the zone, just barely getting it across before Cyrek could get to it. That will help Williamsville South do more good work here to kill off more time here on this penalty. Just 15 seconds now remaining on this Starpoint power play. Again, the same unit of 5 players still out there for Starpoint, finally getting 1 change made here as Bull carries it in across the blue line. Hard wrist shot from the middle of the circle. Good pad save made by the netminder Peters. Didn't quite have it corralled and secured there for a moment. Had to make sure that he threw the glove on top of that before any Starpoint players were able to get to it and create a second chance opportunity.
Big kill here by Williamsville South right there. Starpoint could have gotten the breathing room they needed, and the goaltending and the penalty kill, keeping everything to the outside, does a really good job of keeping this a 1-goal game. 4 seconds left. Don't want to speak too soon, but Williamsville South has done a nice job so far.
Bush with control of the puck as the penalty expires. Pass in towards the front of the net, ends up bouncing off a couple of different players. And now this is going to be Neese carrying it up ice. His pass doesn't connect, though. Gavin Russell taking it away from him. Carries it in towards the offensive zone. His shot going just wide, though. Aiden Case coming in from his point position to make sure that stays in the offensive zone. Austin Bush helping out and giving a little bit of puck support as he tracked back and covered the defensive position there. Starpoint keeping it in now. Shot in from the far boards as Gavin Russell tried to get that one in on net. Now it comes back out to this near side. Bush trying to make sure that stays in the zone. Will South, though, breaking the pressure, and Feinberg carries it into the offensive end. Feinberg shot from the top of the circle is saved by the netminder Guru, and he holds on for a whistle here. 8:23 is what remains in third period play. And we'll get an offensive zone faceoff coming up here for the Williamsville South Billies as both teams executing a line change at this moment. As it's Williamsville South having the most recent goal here in this game, but it came all the way back in the second period. And the 2 Starpoint goals came back in the first period. So we're waiting for the floodgates to reopen here in this one. A lot of offensive opportunities created here in this contest. Not a whole lot getting past the 2 netminders, however. Loose puck right in front of our broadcast position. Eventually it is found by Turchiarelli, and he gets it in across the blue line, but a couple different Starpoint players right on top of him. And now the Spartans force it back in the other direction. Chance to get that pass out in front. Mainstone looking to get that one onto the stick of Carterella. Just couldn't get it through the defenseman. Davin Krakowiak in the other direction. Gets himself free and lets a shot go from just inside the blue line. Blocker save made by Guru. And Starpoint does a good job of getting this puck up ice and getting it back into the offensive zone. This is Will Mainstone. Mainstone drops that pass back, but unable to connect with Merrifield. Merrifield had a man right on him just ended up playing it forward, trying to maintain some offensive zone possession. 1-on-2 in the other direction as Will South's Davin Krakowiak tried to go around one of the two Starpoint defensemen. End of his shift, though, he didn't have a whole lot of gas in the tank for that one. Heads to the bench for a change as it's Joe Manguso moving it out of the zone. Manguso up to Cyrek, and Cyrek has some speed into the offensive zone. Pass through the crease, right in towards the front of the net. Reed Mariner there in a dangerous position, just couldn't quite get the stick on that one. Cyrek again putting some pressure on down low. Good forecheck work by number 17. Back to the point. Joe Manguso looking for a shot. Gets it in on goal. Looked like it might have been deflected there late. Good save by Bennett Peters, making sure that that one didn't get past him, even though it looked like it might have changed directions there just in front of the crease. Hangs on to make yet another save and to keep this one a one-goal hockey game. Peters, Sean, has certainly been doing everything he can to give his team a chance in this one.
Absolutely. Peters has been standing on his head for Williamsville South. He is without a doubt the first star of the game for them. He needs something from one of his forwards right here in these last 7 minutes to get this thing tied.
Puck played out towards the blue line, finally out towards the neutral zone. This could be an opportunity for Will South.
Great defense.
Good defensive coverage, though, back into their zone, making sure that there was no pass option across and towards the front of the net. Starpoint clears the zone, but it's sent right back in. Cyrek picks it up for the Spartans and carries it through the neutral zone. He's got a couple of different men on him. Still finds some space. Drops a pass back to Bush. Nice-looking play there. Ended up hitting a defenseman in the leg and going wide into the far corner. Under 6.5 to go in regulation as Austin Bush again with possession of it along the goal line. Feeds it back to Cyrek. And now Starpoint moving it around the perimeter. Backhand pass there to the point. Shot in on goal. Looked like it got redirected there late as it was Mariner getting a piece of that one. McClellan letting the shot go from the point, but yet another solid save made by Peters. Austin Bush carrying it in all alone, 1-on-4. Almost ends up with a glorious chance, though. Let a good hard wrist shot go that just missed that far post. Second opportunity shot coming in from distance. That one's covered up by Peters. And as you said, Sean, he's going to need one of his forwards or one of the skaters on his team to do something in order to pick him up and offer a little bit of support here, because Starpoint, while they're protecting a one-goal lead, they seem to still have the foot on the gas quite a bit.
They're protecting the lead because they don't have to defend it right now because they're playing the entire period in the offensive zone here. South looking for some numbers here. They've got them if they move.
Feinberg and Krakowiak into the offensive zone. Feinberg just takes the shot from distance, hits the defenseman's skate and goes wide. See if they can keep it in there on the far side. Ian Krakowiak stepping in from his point position, but it's going to be Merrifield carrying it up ice. Merrifield through the neutral zone, gets it into the offensive end. On his backhand as he looks to get that one out in front, ends up throwing it into the pads of the netminder Peters, hoping for a loose puck there, a rebound opportunity as Bull was coming in on the play late. Peters ends up covering that one up, and we have a whistle with 5:26 to go in regulation. Still a one-goal lead for Starpoint, and they continue to do a good job of making sure that they're defending that lead by playing in the Williamsville South zone.
Yes, and that's the best defense. The best defense is great offense, and the thing of it is, too, it's not like Starpoint is sending 5 in on the forecheck. They're maintaining their responsibilities, but their forwards are doing a great job of keeping the puck down low, and their D-men are doing a great job of holding the points. It's a clinic right now in this third period on how to protect a one-goal lead.
They're still not exactly finding as much success as I think they would like in terms of putting the puck in the net here, though. And that could still come back as an issue here in this game, because all it takes, as we saw in the second, is one bounce, creates an opportunity. It was a 2-on-1 that Williamsville South ended up scoring on. And that's really why you want to try to get that insurance goal, because all it takes is one funny bounce, one weird-looking play, and that's all that Williamsville South will need to get this a tie game.
Well, when you look at the scoreboard, nobody asks who played better. They asked who won. And, yes, Starpoint has played a better game, but Will South is getting outstanding goaltending, to say the very least, right now, and that's why it's a one-goal game and why Williamsville South is just one dumb bounce or one break away from having this game tied, which is exactly how we want it in these Starpoint in any game, but especially these two teams that know each other.
Will South putting some pressure on in the offensive zone, but a really nice job of breaking it up that far wall. This is Cyrek carrying it into the offensive zone. Tries to get that pass through the defenseman, ends up back on his stick again, and now it's Bush getting the pass back to the point. Puck is just fired into the near corner. Now cycled down low as Russell tries to get that one out in front. Not sure he was actually intending to pass that one out in front, as he looked like he was merely just trying to stick handle there alongside of the net. Feinberg carries it into the offensive zone, tries to find a man cutting towards that back post. Turchiarelli was there, just couldn't quite get that pass connected on to get that scoring opportunity. A little bit more life, though, it seems, from the Billies here. Back into the offensive zone. This is Davin Krakowiak. He takes a hit along the far boards. Has a little bit of help there, but Feinberg unable to come up with that puck, and this is Austin Bush carrying it up.
Oh, yeah!
Bush takes a big hit there from the defenseman Shane Neese. Neese is the one that lost his stick in the process, however. Now back into the offensive zone comes Davin Krakowiak. Great pass to the far wall, or the far side rather. Turchiarelli right on top of the far side there. Great save by Garou to get over there and make that stop.
Garou was called upon to make a save right there, and he made it. That was the chance Williamsville South was looking for, and Garou came up huge for him.
Now let's see if Bull can do something with it on the other end. Got himself free of the defenders and just let that shot go high and wide just by a little bit there on the near post. Puck along the Williamsville South blue line.
Oh, great keep in there. Carterella doing a great job lifting the stick, and then I think that was number 8.
Yeah, Mainstone making the play there along the blue line to make sure that stayed in the zone. As we have 3:20 to go here in regulation.
Yeah.
We keep on saying that it's a lot easier to defend a lead when you are in the opponent's zone. Really tough to score from 200 feet away.
Right, and the thing is, on that play by Carterella and Mainstone, there are 3 Williamsville South Billies in full stride up the neutral zone where that puck gets by them. So that was a great play.
Not only avoids a potential odd man rush.
Oh my, what a pass.
Wow, that was a great look by Carterella down low to Mainstone.
Oh, that kid's got it.
Maybe an even better save there by Peters down low as that one changed directions right in front of him. Great look by Carterella to get that one right on the doorstep.
Yeah, that was a great pass there by Frankie Carterella. That was a needle threader to the nth degree right there through a pair of feet and then a stick. And then a great save there by the goaltender. I mean, I would have blown that because I'm not good, but I mean, I can't believe they didn't score right there. And I'm not saying anybody on Starpoint did anything wrong. Peters made his best save of the game, I think.
Certainly has a lot of competition for best save of the game in terms of the stops that he's made so far in this one. On the other end, Rich Garou just making his best save of the game about a minute ago here in the action, as not surprisingly to see both goaltenders playing well in a 2-1 game.
Yeah, it's been a goaltender's duel right now. I mean, granted, Peters has had more of the shots, and we've got a timeout here. I
think it was Starpoint that called the timeout, but I'm not positive.
Aaron, we're getting the signal that it was Starpoint, so that's so thank you to whoever gave us that signal. But then again, Starpoint really looking to get their guys on the rink, get the matchup they want here in Williamsville South. Though I mean, this benefits them; they get a breather too to get their guys out there. But it is Starpoint that gets the last change.
I think what we're going to see here, at least from Williamsville South, we're going to see a lot of 12 and 16. Actually, they're both coming off of a change right now. The top 2 scorers for the Billies, Davin Krakowiak as well as Nolan Feinberg. They're not out there at the moment, but I think they're probably going to get about a 30-second spell, and they're going to be out there for pretty much the rest of this contest.
That's what I would do.
On the other side, it's that top line again. There's it's Mainstone, Bull, as well as number 14, Mike Merrifield. That line's been very effective today. Williamsville South getting control of it, getting it out into the neutral zone, but they don't have possession of it here. A little bit of a dangerous moment there for Case, as he had to be quick about that to finally get it off of his stick and play it up ice. Now back into the Will South zone as we have 2:40 to go in regulation. This is Ian Krakowiak moving it up ice. Pass is connected with Ferrari, but he can't maintain possession of it. Case knocks it away from him. And now here come the Spartans. This is Merrifield into the offensive zone. Tries to take a shot through the defenseman's legs, but it ends up going off the shin pad of Witt and then into the corner. Comes out to the near wall. It's going to be Ferrari with a chance to get it up ice, but his pass is intercepted by Bull. He makes sure it stays in the offensive zone and kills off essentially a little bit more time on the overall clock here in this game, as the clock is the enemy of the Williamsville South Billies right now.
What's the call here?
A player down behind the net, and the net's off as well.
He caught an edge right there. I mean, my first initial thought was he blew an ankle or something right there. He went down out of nowhere, and you know what they say about those non-contact injuries? They're always the worst ones. So, luckily, none of that. And at another rink, Aaron, it goes without fail that the net will not stay on the moorings. Every time.
Seems to be an epidemic in terms of just in general in hockey.
It's like the surface they play on is slippery or something.
Well, there seems to be the added focus on making sure that nobody goes into those posts and the post maintains its position.
In fairness, it is annoying from a flow perspective, but yeah, I guess running into 200 pounds of steel at full speed probably hurts. So
back underway here as we're under 2 minutes in play left to go here from Hockey Outlet. It's a 2-1 lead in favor of Starpoint. They're looking to add to it as they get it into the offensive zone. Puck is sent down low by Reed Mariner.
Now we got to see if Will South can get out so they can get their goaltender to the bench.
Yeah, minute 45 to go. And again, it's Starpoint hemming them into their own zone here, as they have done for a fair amount of this game so far tonight. Minute 35 to go in regulation. And again, it's Austin Bush with the puck on his stick, making sure it's not on a Williamsville South player's stick. Eventually, puck is played with a high stick. I'm going to guess that's a Williamsville South high stick, because the faceoff is going to stay in the Billy zone. Starpoint making a change here and getting that top unit back out there again, or at least the top two players, Mainstone and Bull. They have been a force to be reckoned with today for certain. Not a surprise to see Coach Clayton Wilson getting them out there again.
Absolutely. They're looking to put the dagger in right here, because barring something crazy, a 2-goal lead here seems like a mountain that no one's climbing right now.
And if you keep this group out there and they continue to possess it, it'll just be that much less time for Will South to do anything at the other end of the ice. Minute 20 and counting now. Almost a chance in front of the net, just out of the air, unable to knock that down. That one down was
gotta have some
Mainstone.
Urgency right now. They're keeping everything to the side. Oh, okay.
Finally get possession of it. This is Feinberg in the neutral zone, but he's all alone, 1-on-2. Help is eventually coming as he makes the move around the defender on the far side. Gets it back to the point. The net is empty now for Will South. The shot comes in from the point, but that one's blocked by Justin Bull. Second opportunity, gets in on net. The rebound was there briefly for Turturelli, but he couldn't quite find control of that one. Davin Krakowiak here in the near corner with possession of it. Looking to create something there, but it's going to be Mainstone getting control of that one. Sending it towards the open net, just barely missing that far post. Inches away from making it a 3-1 hockey game. Ends up going for icing, however, and the faceoff will have to come back into the Starpoint territory. But something to note here is maybe if you're not as familiar with Western New York High School hockey rules, teams can make the change, however, after that icing infraction. So if there are tired guys out there for Starpoint, they have the opportunity to get fresh guys out there. Either way, it looks like they've called it. One of the two sides has called a timeout, whichever team didn't earlier. So I'm going to say this is Will South's timeout with a little bit less than 43 seconds to go, 42.6 seconds remaining here in this contest. And the faceoff's going to be in the Starpoint zone when we get restarted again.
Yep, and like you said, Aaron, icing isn't the penalty. It is at other levels, because you do get to change regardless of that. So despite everything, despite not capitalizing on two opportunities on the power play, Will South has an offensive zone faceoff with the netminder on the bench with a chance to get the opportunity, and they have time, too. They don't have to force the first shot they see.
Talked about the Starpoint offensive zone and shot advantage here in this game. I think you could probably also go back and watch the film here and see that they've had a pretty strong advantage on faceoffs as well. And this faceoff here probably doesn't get any more important than any other one here in this game. This one's a big one. It's going to be to the glove hand side of Rich Carew.
Yep, and Rich Carew again, he's made one save, and they're going to count on him to make another one, and there's no surprise here. Starpoint is sending Mainstone into the dot. Not only is he winning faceoffs, he's winning them clean, but this is the biggest one of the night, and he wins it again.
Clean. Yeah, winning that one from Wortman, but it's going to be Will South finding possession of it. This is Wortman in behind the net looking to set something up. Takes a hit as he gets it back to the point. Cross-ice pass. Neese with an opportunity to let one go right in on goal. Save is made by Carew. Second opportunity is stopped as well. Crowd in front of the net. Where's the puck? Referee trying to find it. Eventually comes out to the far corner.
Wow, how did that stay out of the net?
Carew does not have his own stick. He grabs a defenseman's stick as the puck is sent the length of the ice. We're going to have an icing call with 13.7 seconds to go. And wow, what a crazy moment there in front of the Starpoint cage. A maze of bodies trying to find control of that puck. And number 30, Rich Carew, doing an excellent job of keeping it out of the net.
Yeah, that was great goaltending and great team defense right there. Everybody in white just packed into the net. Anything they could to keep that puck out. South, you cannot hang your head right here. You got the chance. You got to get this face off. Now you got to get it and shoot.
13.7 seconds left. Same two centermen on this draw again. Feinberg with control of it after it comes out to the boards. Shot from the side wall, goes up and over top of the cage. Bull's going to get a chance to clear this one out of the zone, and that one's going to go slowly into the Williamsville South zone, and that's going to be enough to end things here as Mainstone tries to shoot it for the empty net. Ends up hitting the outside of the cage, but nonetheless, that is how the game will end, and it is a 2-1 Starpoint victory. And boy, were there some tense moments in the last minute, Sean.
Yes, there certainly were. You got what you asked for here. I mean, in a low-scoring game, we certainly didn't miss out on any entertainment. We got goaltending. Williamsville South's goaltender Peters played a brilliant game, start to finish, and then Guru, when the pressure is on, and it was on in those last 40 seconds, he went full Dominic Hasek, just any means necessary, blocker, pad, face, stick, whatever's got to get in front of that puck, he got there. These two teams treated us to a great hockey game. Don't let the low scoring fool anybody. This was as entertaining as a 6-5 game with the goaltending and the physical play. Great hockey game by both teams. We should come to expect nothing less when these two squads face off against each other.
Certainly a great way for us here at the Nickel City Hockey Network to start off our coverage of Section 6 high school hockey this season. Type of matchup that we certainly wanted to see. We were lucky enough to get to see a bunch of close games last year as well, and certainly great to see a tight game here, hotly contested from start to finish, and a lot of really good performances from individuals on both sides of the ice.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said earlier, it's getting to the point where Justin Bull just flips a switch when we get to see him, and he plays out of his mind, was the most noticeable forward for Starpoint. You got, the big gun for Williamsville South, Feinberg did get one. The goaltending was outstanding. The Billies have nothing to hang their heads over. Maybe you'd like to see them play a little more offense. Played a very good game defensively, got goaltending. They didn't lack opportunities. They got enough of them to get this game tied. But at the end, the goaltender, Guru, stood on his head. I mean, this is the third time we've seen these two teams play. The only time the score didn't show a one-goal game is when Starpoint was able to get an empty netter.
And certainly about what we expected. We were talking with the coaches beforehand. They were telling us about how every time these two teams meet, it's a tightly contested one-goal game, maybe
clean.
A two-goal game. Exactly, also a clean game, only a small handful of penalties and nothing too malicious in terms of the type of contact. So this is, it's exactly what you want to see with high school hockey. Great, hotly contested games with a lot of passion on both sides of the ice, and some great individual performances. Can't say enough about the Williamsville South goaltender, Bennett Peters. The reason why this was a one-goal game was because he was maybe the best player on the ice. You can make an
100%.
argument that Justin Bull would have a good case to be made for him as well, but certainly a big reason why this was a tightly contested game all the way until the final horn was the fact that Bennett Peters, the netminder from Williamsville South, was at his best here today. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ice, you had nothing but solid performances from a lot of different players on the Starpoint roster. A nice bounce-back win from them here tonight after last week's loss to Williamsville East. So certainly a good beneficial victory as Starpoint moves their record to 5-2 on the year. And that next matchup, Sean, is one that I know they have circled because their opponents have that one circled for sure. It is Grand Island on Monday. It is going to be Starpoint at Grand Island, that game taking place at Hyde Park. It's a rematch of last year's Section 6 Small Schools Championship game. That one a one-goal win in favor of the Starpoint Spartans as they went on that magical run at the end of play last season, making it all the way to the state championship game as they are the reigning small school champions here in Section 6. And certainly on their way towards getting an opportunity to defend that title here this season, as they certainly are going to make some noise having a roster with as many seniors as they have on it, Sean.
No shortage of talent on this team. And when you mix talent with experience with a very strong veteran coaching staff, you're going to run into a dangerous team. They got the goaltending today, too, that they needed. Like I said, Guru might not have faced a lot of shots, but the shots he faced were quality, and he made the saves he had to make right here. He's a goaltender. He'll tell you he should have had the one by Feinberg. I thought that was a perfectly placed shot, and I'm not going to argue with him because he got the win. But this Starpoint team, yes, they are every bit the threat they are as they've always been. And here's the thing with Williamsville South. Their record might be ugly, but I will not, after seeing them again, I will not look at them as a 1-5-1 team. I can't. They're good. They're a good hockey team with great goaltending. They're playing a gauntlet to start the season, had some unluckiness, lost a lot of close games. They're a young team. I expect them to turn it around. They're not lacking any talent. They're not lacking any urgencies, and they're a good hockey team. They just ran into a beast today. Yeah,
it's a team full of sophomores and juniors that are just getting more and more experienced with every game that they play. When they play this tough schedule that they've seen here early on this season, facing teams like Starpoint twice, they've already played Iroquois Alden as well. They've definitely had some of the tougher matchups here in the early part of the season. That's just going to give those young guys the seasoning that they need to play at this level. It's not you can't just jump right into it right away. I mean, some players can, but those are the obviously supremely talented individuals.
Those players usually are also playing elsewhere.
Potentially, yeah.
I mean, that sounded a little disrespectful. It wasn't meant to be, but you get a lot more of the coaches trying to quote Herb Brooks or Kurt Russell. If Herb Brooks didn't actually say it, they want the right players. They want the team. If they can get a stud, you take a stud. But
sure.
the logic is you get a group of players that you grow together at this level. You see that with Starpoint. Just look at the teams they keep firing in and out. I mean, we're talking about the senior Starpoint has. But yet the most explosive, the most exciting player they had today was a sophomore, and Frankie Cardarella with the moves and the poise. I mean, he's 15, 16 years old, and he's out there playing against seniors, and he is better than a lot of them. I mean, there are players up and down the roster on this team. But when you have veteran leadership, in addition to that talent, that's how you win multiple. That's how you're a threat to win states every year.
And that picks up the guys that are a little bit younger on the roster, that to know that they have the experienced players in their locker room that have been through these wars before, that they can look to down the bench and know that there's a little bit of added comfort that comes with that. Be sure to stick with us here. We're going to have a live player interview with one of the Starpoint players coming up here in a few moments. So definitely stick with us here as we continue with our post-game coverage from Hockey Outlet North Tonawanda. It's a 2-1 victory in favor of the Starpoint Spartans. They scored all of their goals in period number 1. It was the first goal of the game scored by number 9. That was Austin Bush on a beautiful shot, carrying it in up the right side, tucking it in up under the bar, just over the glove hand of the netminder, Bennett Peters.
Show me the goalie that makes that save, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly no faulting the netminder for that one. It was a pinpoint shot with perfect accuracy, and certainly one that we're probably going to be pulling up here in our highlights when we get done here tonight. But also certainly want to make mention of the fact that had just a lot of really solid efforts throughout the lineup from Starpoint. Justin Bull, the other goal scorer, he was all over the ice tonight.
He was the best non-goalie in this game, in my opinion, tonight.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement as well, Sean. He was, whenever it was somebody needing to find a loose puck, get the puck on his stick to keep his team either moving in the offensive zone or to break something up in the defensive end, he was a force for all 200 feet of the rink tonight, and certainly a big reason why not only his team was successful here in this game, but his line as well. You saw both him and Will Mainstone, and then whoever else they put with that group, whether or not it was, I know that they had Merrifield with that group a bunch. They had Cyrek with those two as well.
Took a shift or two with them too.
Exactly. It was no matter who they put as the other wing on that line, it was effective from start to finish. And certainly those two players, Mainstone and Bull, a big reason why Starpoint was not only successful here today, why they were successful last year, and why the future looks good for them in the rest of this year.
Yes, when you have guys you can lean on in any situation, just knowing as a coach, just be like, I need a face-off, I need possession, I need X, Y, and Z. I'm going to put 7 and 8 out there, and then I'm going to put anybody else with them. Who's not tired right now? Who can skate with them? That's what you get to do. That's a luxury to have. And Coach Clayton is one of the best coaches around here, so he knows how to work with anything. But when you give him talent and reliability like that, it's like giving him clay, and he can mold it into whatever he wants. And that's what he's been doing for a couple of years. That's what he did today when he had to play the grinded-out style of hockey.
All right, we're still waiting on a Starpoint player to come and join us for a post-game interview. We're going to take a little bit of a break while we wait for that, but we'll be back here in a few moments with a player from the Starpoint locker room as they are enjoying a successful game here tonight and a 2-1 victory over the Williamsville South Billies. Stay tuned. We'll be back with you in just a moment as we'll have a live interview with one of the victorious Starpoint Spartans. And welcome back to Hockey Outlet in North Tonawanda, New York, as we are wrapping up our post-game coverage of a 2-1 Starpoint victory over the Williamsville South Billies. We now head to ice level, where Sean McHugh is joined by Jacob Cyrick, one of the winning players from the Starpoint Spartans.
Thanks, Aaron. Like you said, I'm here with Starpoint forward Jacob Cyrick. Jacob, you had a tight one today against an opponent you're pretty familiar with. What do you have to do to, keep it fresh, but also know your opponent when you're so familiar with a team like South?
Well, we were playing 3 lines the whole game. Come to the third period, we dropped down to 8 forwards. We played 4 sets of 2 lines, and we're rotating in and out, and we kept ourselves fresh like that with rotating one guy in each time. Really close game. We were just sticking out to the end, working hard.
Absolutely. You guys came out of there with the win. Now, today, Bennett Peters, you ran into a hot goaltender that was on his game today. It took 2 picture-perfect shots that I'm not even sure Andrei Vasilevsky gets his glove on. When you run into a goaltender that plays as well as Peters did, even though you're all over them in the offensive zone, how do you stick to your game and not get frustrated and try to do too much to break it open?
Well, we obviously stick to our game, and Coach Clayton is up there telling us to just play our game, and keep on doing what we do best, Starpoint hockey. And, keep making plays, working hard, cycling it down low, playing as a team, just like he says, playing as a team. And, we did get 2 past them, which was definitely enough, playing good enough defense that we did.
And you guys are, again, your team comes in with the expectations of state title or bust every single time. So, again, how do you continue to ride that momentum? You have 9 seniors, but what does everybody else on their lineup have to do to continue to live up to the sky-high expectations you set for yourself every single year?
Well, every game, at least this game, our coach has really instilled in us before the game that we need to play for the seniors and to not let them and to make it a memorable season for them, because it's the last time they're going to be pulling their jersey on for this entire season. Not this game, obviously, but at the end of the season. And we want to make this a memorable season, go as far as we can, win just that one more playoff game. We got to make it there, working hard and stuff, but doing it for the seniors.
There you have it, Aaron. Jacob Cyrick, very successful Starpoint win again. Ran into a hot goaltender, preaching team defense and depth. Back to you.
A 2-1 win for the Starpoint Spartans, and we certainly appreciate Jacob Cyrick taking a couple of moments to join us afterwards. And he'll now head back to the locker room and celebrate with his teammates. And we'll again be back with you right here from this building next week, Wednesday, same time, same place, Wednesday at 6:50 p.m., and it will be Starpoint facing off against Amherst. Just be sure to join us for that matchup next week on Wednesday. But thank you so much for joining our coverage here tonight. That should just about do it for color commentator Sean McHugh, camera operator Jeff Jazarowski. My name's Aaron Alpern. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on the Nickel City Hockey Network. And be sure to join us next week as we continue to bring you Starpoint hockey here from the Nickel City Hockey Network.